Hello everyone, batching into today's second video, going to have a look at the weather for the next week to 10 days. For today's second video, daytime will take us to around the 2nd of August. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles taking us almost towards the end of the first week of August. And have a look at CFSV2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. That's going to take us to the latter stages of August, of course. We've not been showing the Beijing Climate Centre 40-day output on a Thursday. Something's going on at the Beijing Climate Centre website, so we are unable to bring you any data from there at the moment. Hopefully they'll get the charts back up at some point, but at the moment the charts are inaccessible at the Beijing Climate Centre. So have a look at CFS instead. Right, I'll get on that be very short. Just say that the first video released today was the JMA 3-monthly seasonal update, taking us from next month, from August right way through to October. That's ahead of the second seasonal model roundup for the autumn of 2020. That is going to be released on Saturday morning. I've got our latest update for the United States coming up later on this evening. Okay, so let's start off then. We're going to begin with centering temperature. So, disappointing temperatures continue really with this July. So the CET provisional to yesterday, the 22nd. Now 3 weeks, of course, more or less 3 weeks into the month, with just 1 week left. CET is standing at 15.4, an anomaly of over half a degree now below average. It is turning into our coolest August, our coolest July, I should say, for quite some time. And of course, this is a big change on what we've had through the year so far. It has been a very, very warm year so far, with January, February, March, April, May, and June all coming out warmer than average. So this is a big change that we've had this month. It is going to be a cooler than average month. I don't think there's any getting away from that. The temperature will be below average. The only question is where it's going to finish up. I think somewhere like mid-15s is probably likely, so somewhere around 15.5 to maybe 15.7, something like that. Probably the coolest July that we've had since 2012, and yes, it looks like it's going to be definitely going to be our first cooler than average month. Yeah, of course, we should wait and see what August has in store. We will have a pair of cooler than average months coming along, back to back. We shall see. These are the 500 millibar high anomaly flowcharts from Penn State University for the next week to 10 days. This gets us into the early part of August now. We've got the ECMWF on the top, and the GFS, which we'll have in a moment, is on the bottom. So 500 millibars is an area in the absolute high pressure, low pressure, being boomed out by the jet stream running above. Red extrapolates high pressure, blue to low pressure. You can see that the ECM actually has a ridge of above average heights developing here towards the end of July and beginning of August. It's a very weak ridge that the ECM is developing and starting to pull up some much warmer air from the south. Have a look at it in a moment. Doesn't last long though. With low pressure in the Atlantic, it's quite a volatile scenario. It suggests a chance of like quite a warm spell, maybe even a hot day or so, sometime around the 31st to the 1st, followed quite rapidly though by a thundery breakdown. The GFS is a lot flatter, so the GFS again is showing sort of much more of a westerly type flow here, with low pressure in the Atlantic bringing in those westerly winds. So yes, the GFS does make a little bit of that ridge sometime around the 31st of July. I'm going to show you all the data in a moment. The GFS does make a little bit more of that ridge around the 31st of July. But very, very quickly sweeps it aside by low pressure coming in off the Atlantic. Again, I will show you the data in a moment. Both the models, despite the ECM having that ridge, despite the ECM having this ridge, both of the models are unsettled really for the next week to 10 days, and you'll see what's going on in a moment. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks from London, or for London, from Old Wetter Central today. The red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average, so we're pretty close to average, just a little bit above average at the moment with the upper air temperatures. They're going to drop as we go through the weekend and into the early part of next week. Actually, the early and middle part of next week is looking looking quite cool here. Now we have got this little tick up in the upper air temperatures going on there. That's what I've just been talking about, with this ridge potentially forming and pulling up some really warm air sometime around the 31st of July to the 1st of August. It's this period just here. It only lasts very, very briefly, like a day, maybe a couple of days at most, and then the temperatures are dropping away again. But we might get the temperature up into the upper 20s for an hour or two, sometime around the 31st of July or the 1st of August. Precipitation-wise, there's more rainfall to come. There is rainfall to come, so reasonably dry for the next couple of days. But over the weekend and into next week, it looks unsettled. Couple of drier days around the turn of the month, and then back to unsettled conditions again through the first week of August, really. Temperature anomalies from the 23rd to the 31st of July, around or ever so slightly below average. Precipitation anomalies from the 23rd of July to the 31st. Again, very close to average. Probably more areas a little bit wetter than average for those that are near normal. So quite unsettled and still a little bit on the cool side overall. These are how the wind flow charts are looking from Earth Null School at the moment. So more low pressure is in the Atlantic quite clearly. The wind direction has generally been westerly through this summer. That continues. You can see that we're still bringing in these westerlies. We are under ever such a slight little ridge, or we have a slight ridge down to our southwest, but generally we've got quite a bit of low pressure around the North Atlantic. And there's going to be more low pressure coming in over the weekend. So everything's still driving in from the west. It's not been a fundamental change really. We are quite close to high pressure. Most of Europe, sort of central western, southwestern Europe, is under high pressure at the moment. But overall for us, we still remain Atlantic driven and pretty unsettled, I'm afraid. So this is how UK Met is looking for Sunday. Sunday is bringing in low pressure from off the Atlantic. So yeah, going to be an unsettled weekend. Saturday going to have heavy showers, if not longer spells of rain. And then Sunday will be more showery for the north and for the west too. That's a slightly quieter interval on Monday, but then next low pressure comes in late Monday into Tuesday. That will bring further bouts of rain as well. And then the UK Met looks like about 144 hours as far as we can go. So unsettled, just trying to get a little bit of a ridge building up from the southwest, but there's more low pressure in the Atlantic. Any ridge is probably doomed to only last a day or so at best. And then low pressure will be back in from off the Atlantic. This is how the GFS 6 o'clock run is looking. So again, the weekend is looking really unsettled, with low pressure well and truly in control, bringing bouts of rain and showers in between. Early next week, well, perhaps a slight little bump of high pressure in the south on Monday, but we've still got low pressure to our north and also to our west. It's a new area of low pressure as we go through later Monday into Tuesday. That low pressure coming in from the west, happening further wet weather with it. So unsettled to start next week. Cool showery northwesterlies for Wednesday, then a little bit of a bump of high pressure coming on for Thursday. So second half next week might turn a little bit drier. Thursday and Friday, yes, that little ridge is there over the country, but notice the next low is in the Atlantic. It looks like it's very quickly going to push that ridge aside. Upper air temperatures trying to lift up a little bit with that ridge, but very, very quick, that's swept aside by this low pressure coming in on Saturday, the 31st of August. So, again, this is the last day of July, just a little bit warmer perhaps for the final day of July. We might get temperatures into the mid to possibly upper 20s Celsius in the southeast. But it is very quickly swept aside by Saturday the 1st of August, bringing to those westerly winds and bringing lots of showers and longer spells rain back in from off the Atlantic. You see how we barely get 10 Celsius ice firm into country before it's swept away again on this GFS run. Day 10 looking unsettled, westerlies, low pressure in control. We saw it on the high dominant flow chart. And as we're going to the opening week of August, it looks really unsettled actually, but extra lows coming in off the Atlantic. That will be bringing lots of heavy rain with. That's almost like a dartboard low over country for Tuesday the 4th of August. Looks really unsettled, dare I say it, autumnal, and just generally quite unsettled really with the GFS 6Z run up to Saturday the 8th of August. It doesn't look very good at all. The GM looks like this, so the GM again cool, unsettled for the weekend with quite a bit of rain to come. Temperatures will be a bit suppressed as well. Monday, Tuesday, yes, low pressure never far away, further showers, if not longer spells of rain through the early part of next week. And then the second half of next week just starts to build up this ridge a little bit more with the GM and has warmer potential. So these this how things look on Saturday the 1st of August. We are pulling up some genuine warmth from the south there with the GM for the first day of August. Look how much warmer the upper air temperatures are with the GM compared to the GFS. So that's putting up some proper heat from the south. And actually on the first day of August, that could see the temperature get up to around 30 degrees potentially down in the southeast. Again, I'm not sure it lasts all that long. There's probably some sort of trough coming in here by day 10, Sunday the 2nd of August, lowering the temperature, maybe hinting at a few thunderstorms. But generally the GM is a lot warmer the days 8, 9, 10 compared to the GFS. So we may pull up some warmth quite briefly around the turn of the month. And by warmth I mean sort of proper heat. And then we've got the ECMWF, and again we're cool and showery on Sunday with showers or longer spells of rain. And then the next low's coming in Monday to Tuesday. That brings heavy rain with it probably. That gets out of the way to the east on Wednesday, and we turn the wind into the northwest, cool and showery again then. And then again, same idea. I've got this ridge building for the second half of next week, bringing a drier interval at least for the second half of next week, and eventually starting to pull up some warmth from the south and southeast too by the time we get through to Saturday the 1st of August. We are definitely trying to import some heat from the south. Again, it is very brief. By day 10, Sunday the 2nd of August, low pressure is out to our west, and we've probably got a fungi breakdown going on here, returning to cooler and more unsettled conditions. Upper air temperatures show that the heat is being pushed away to the east. Nevertheless, for a couple of days around the 31st of July and the 1st of August, we may see things just going a little bit hotter, just for a day or two, and then it's sort of swept away pretty quickly. Okay, so moving on to the rainfall forecast based on that ECM run from Tometeo.com. This is how things are looking. Quite unsettled, really. So we've got more wet weather across particularly the central swathe of the country today. A lot of that's going to fizzle out this afternoon, but we'll keep dampness going in the north and the west. And then in comes the next batch of rain later tomorrow and into Saturday. So that's a band of rain pushing eastwards, followed by really big showers, longer spells of rain, possibly some thunder mixed in there. So Saturday afternoon could turn very lively. All of that pushes through Saturday night into Sunday. Sunday we're left with showers like in the north and the west, but these areas tending to be dry. Slightly quieter interval for a while on Monday, but then we've got more rain piling in from off the Atlantic later Monday and into Tuesday. Some of that rain will be heavy and persistent as well. Then we get this drier interval setting up through the second half of next week at about ridge of high pressure. So sort of Thursday, Friday definitely is turning drier. But by day 10 already the suggestion that showers are coming back. That's midnight at Sunday the 2nd of August, perhaps hinting at a bit of a fungi breakdown by then. These are the options that are on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10 by the Icelandic Met Office. This gets us to the 2nd of August. We have 18 members of the ECM ensembles that just look very unsettled. Low pressure over to west of the country, and they're bringing in these westerly winds. 13 with low pressure again over to the east of the country. In come the westerlies. We've also got 11 that have low pressure down to our southwest, high pressure up to the northeast. They could be a bit thundery, but again, would be quite unsettled. Could be warm though with those. And then 9, which doesn't include the operational run, that's what I've just been talking about, that have this low pressure sort of starting to dig in from the northwest, but overall a little bit more anticyclonic with those. So the operational run actually not all that well supported by its ensemble today with the ECM at day 10, to be honest. Most of the options look more unsettled, I'm afraid, at day 10 than today's ECM operational run. 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This is going to get us to the 7th of August. 21 members of the ECM ensemble still with low pressure out to the west of the northwest country there. Unsettled, of course. 14 with a trough, quite a weak one, quite close to us. 10 with a bit of a change, high pressure up to the northeast. They'll be bringing in easy winds that would at the very least be warmer. And then 6 with high pressure to our south. Again, a bit of a change with that one. Low pressure up to the north and northwest. Actually going a bit further northwards with that one. That could be pulling up some warmth from the south. So we may bring up some warmer weather at times during the first week of August. But still, generally, they do look a little bit mixed, I have to say. Those options on the table. Now, as I say, normally on a Thursday, we will bring you the 40-day charts from the Beijing Climate Centre, but look at this, a very sad-looking scene there, as the data is not available at the moment from the Beijing Climate Centre, so we shall move on from that really quickly, and we'll go to the CFSV2 instead. So these are 500 millibar height anomalies break down to weekly periods. The first weekly period will take us from the 23rd, 29th of July. As we've established, the coming week is going to be unsettled and quite cool too. Low pressure is in the ascendancy, and we're bringing in those westerly winds. So yeah, cool and unsettled in the week ahead. Week 2 is the 30th of July to the 5th of August. Low pressure again is to the north. So that one also looking rather flat and quite changeable. Now week 3 is hinting at northern blocking setting up. This is the 6th to the 12th of August. Notice these orange and red colours around Greenland. That's high pressure within the northern latitudes. We've got a trough underneath it just there. And just there, this could be signalling a very cool and unsettled spell for northern Europe underneath that northern blocking from the 6th to the 12th of August. It could be. And week 4 is the 13th to the 19th of August. Again, high pressure centering around Greenland. There is a trough underneath it, as you often get when you've got northern blocking in the summer. There's a trough through here. And so it could be a little bit ominous, that, really, for August. That could be bad news for August. If we're going to see northern blocking setting up big time, we might be going into a cool and wet month. It's possible we are. So finally, we're just going to have a quick look at what's happening in the tropical Atlantic. This is from the National Hurricane Centre. So we have our 2 disturbance areas, of course. So we've got 8 just here in the Gulf of Mexico. That's a tropical depression 8, giving 30 mile per hour sustained winds with a minimum central pressure of 1,007 millibars. Let's see what 8 is forecast to do. So 8 is going to become a tropical storm. So this will become this will go from a tropical depression 8 just there to a tropical storm just there on Friday. It's going to move into Texas by the look of it as a tropical storm. So that could have some impacts on the Gulf Coast of Texas. And we also have another tropical storm in the tropical Atlantic. This is tropical storm Gonzalo just here. So Gonzalo is giving maximum sustained winds of 65 miles per hour with a minimum central pressure of 997 millibars, moving westwards at 12 miles per hour. Let's see what Gonzalo is forecast to do. So this is predicted any time now to go up to a hurricane. This is predicted, forecast by the National Hurricane Center to strengthen to a Category 1 hurricane and then move in that direction as a Category 1 hurricane somewhere between Venezuela and Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. So we've got Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico up here, and we've got Venezuela down there in South America. So this could eventually finish up hitting Jamaica as a tropical storm by the early part of next week. At the moment, it's not forecast to strengthen any further than a Category 1 hurricane, I don't think. So I think we just confirm that with this. So no, actually we can't. But I had a look earlier on it. I don't think it's forecast to strengthen any further than a Category 1 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson scale. So Category 1 hurricane anyway. That'll be our first hurricane of this season, of course, in the Atlantic. So there we go. That's it for today's video. Finally, if you aren't subscribed to the channel, then please can you give us a sub. We are getting ever closer to 7,100 subscribers. It would be nice to get 7,100 subscribers soon. Got to put on around another 15 or so, I think. So yeah, if you aren't subbed to the channel, please can you give us a sub. Don't forget to like the video, click like, subscribe, and tell your friends about the channel as well. And that'll be absolutely great if you can do that. We'll be back later on with our latest forecast for America. And tomorrow we're going to have JMA Friday, a 10 to 14 day video update again, and also European Outlook. For this video, that's all for now though, and thanks for watching.